Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my short stories from the book Light of mine. Actually, it's going to be in the next edition, probably in a week. With Amazon self-publishing, you can keep updating it. Anyway, this is my newest story. It's called Grandpa's Beg. Just before Grandpa died, family around the bed, he whispered his last words. "Live simpler." No one said anything, and for good reason. You see, the LaCroix family liked their far-from-simple life. Despite the traffic, the crime, and the taxes in the San Francisco Bay Area, they liked their minimans, their Lexi, their five-star vacations. But then Mr. Lacroix lost his job as a private equity valuator. Bye-bye $700K a year salary. And because of demographic reasons, he could not find another job, despite Mrs. Lacroix flogging him after he had become dispirited and just couldn't make himself write yet another customized BS-rich version of his resume. Then the bank came calling. Bay Area minimanses don't come cheap, and the meter runs 24/7, 365. The Lacroix forestalled by canceling the country club, the gym memberships, and reluctantly their house cleaner and their gardener. But as the months rolled by, savings from the spending-centric Lacroix dwindled as the bank's dunning letters got meaner. Their home past arrears and now in pre-foreclosure, they were no longer able to brush off Grandpa's dying words. So they sold their house and moved to a small one just outside the town of Spring Valley, Idaho. Even though it came with a half acre, it cost 80% less than they got for their house in the San Francisco Bay Area. That gave the Lacroix a good few years to figure out how to make money, but it didn't take that long. They were surprised to find that the town didn't have a cafe nor a bookstore, so they opened a bookstore cafe. Another surprise? Unlike in California, because of the cold climate, the fruit was crappy. So their son, the precocious Andy, 12, said he would Google to learn how to grow great tomatoes in a cool summer climate. Of course, you needed to pick the right varieties, like the taste test winning cherry tomato Orange Peruche, but there were tricks to add heat. For example, plant the tomatoes along the fence, which you paint with white mica-chipped and thus heat-reflecting paint. That raised the temperature around the tomatoes 5, sometimes 10 degrees. After school and on weekends, Andy sat at a table in front of the cafe, selling the tomatoes to the amazed customers. Speaking of school, Andy liked it better because the work wasn't, as he called it, crazy hard and boring. More important to him, the kids weren't constantly competing on such silliness as who had designer label sneakers and ripped jeans. Mrs. Lacroix started a book club that met weekly at the bookstore cafe, and then a writers group, both of which generated book sales. Amazon be damned. Mr. Lacroix was happier running his bookstore cafe than raping businesses, which too often was helpful in the private equity business. And if there's a heaven, Grandpa is smiling. In any event, that story is called Grandpa's Beg. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And I would welcome you taking a look at either of my two new books of short stories. One is, as I mentioned, called Light, stories about the brighter side of life, and its companion volume, Dark, stories about the darker side of life. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.